We go into the winner bracket final, another best of 3. The 5th player for the playoffs will be determined after 2 or 3 maps. We start on Last Refuge with 120 versus Foggy. The chat is heavily in favor of the undead, and that is with a reason, because 120 is just the king in this matchup. But usually when they play, Foggy has the ping advantage. Not this time though, as he is still in Shanghai with Cuckoo and her nice husband. And there was a long streak of 120 winning against Foggy. He was kind of his nemesis, eliminating him from Ting, from WCA 2016, from GCS twice in a row, from Masters Coliseum. But in one WGL qualifier, Foggy finally won, and in W League, Foggy won as well, with 2 and 1. So it's getting closer between the two. And it would be a gigantic win for Foggy.
And it wasn't only against 120, of course, him being the strongest of the underrepresentatives, especially him, was hard. But in general, this matchup used to be Foggy's kryptonite. He was struggling so hard on the old patch, the Demon Hunter Bear meta. He was trying so many different things, most of them didn't work. He was looking really, really desperate. But now, everything has changed, everything is different with the Keeper of the Grove, which we are seeing. I'm not too sure how good his matchup is nowadays, actually, compared to his other ones, that is. By no means is it bad. But yeah, that patch for this matchup specifically came as a blessing to Foggy.
Absolutely. Before we go into this game and the strategies, thank you, Evil Santa 2, for the 13-month resub. Thanks for all the streams. Last sub on this account for now, as Prime Student is running out. Congrats on that. But I'll grab the Prime from my girlfriend and drop you a sub. Nice, man. Thank you. 120 in the bottom left of Last Refuge. DK, of course, but the rest is super interesting. Tet Fiend build order and a Hate Love Anger Nerubian Tower.
Yeah, we've been seeing this more and more. Like, WFZ did it, Lucifer did it, with a far forward narrow tower early. This one is a little bit extreme. This one's super far forward, but it serves a double purpose, not only for defense, but also later on for creeping of the laboratory. It's going to be very, very helpful. But it seems like 120 has found his opening build, right? It's Tet Fiends, the 3rd time in a row now.
Do you remember, like 1 or 2 months ago, when I said, dude, ghouls are not doing it anymore because of the Alchemist, you should go Tet Fiends?
But he's still going ghouls later.
Yeah, a few, but, well, you start off like this. That was my idea of the matchup as well, so I'm glad that 120 is following my theory crafting.
Has massive downsides, though.
Yeah.
Early expansion by the Night Elf really can't be contested. Foggy is going for a Hunter's Hall early here, which is pretty unusual.
Yes.
Normally we see a decent number of archers, 2, maybe 3, then the Expo coming down, and with wisps ready to detonate. There's no way for the undead really to do anything about it.
True. He's still keeping Foggy low on level 1 here. Can't start the creeping with the DK around, of course, as the coil steals the experience. Tech is on the way with the next ghouls coming, 4 and 5, but not heavy on the ghouls as we're used to.
The way you want to do this, by the way, perfectly as Night Elf is get all the creeps on similar HP. That way the DK can only last hit steal 1 or 2. Now he lost 1 already. He can afford to give up 2, but he can't afford to give up 3 last hits here.
Especially the big Nightcrawler, and 120 gets this as well. 80 experience stolen and still no entangle for Foggy. Not the greatest start for him for sure, but he got the DK down to 50%. No Unholy Aura. Can he steal this Huntsman again? Does he want to invest the last coil?
Cloak.
Yep, he does. Wow.
Foggy, that was pretty poor, honestly.
112 XP exchanged for mana. That's great. And yeah, before already, like in the game against Life, we saw flaws in Foggy's play, like a lot.
Yeah. It's not the most massive of deals, you know, he still gets level 2. The DK, you're not going to keep him from level 2. He is going to get there. But it could have been executed a little bit better. This could have been less mana force. This could have all been a little bit faster. This could have been less experience on the DK. But it's not the end of the world. The most important thing here is the expansion timing. It is a little bit late, but it's right on top of the gold mine. So that's going to save a lot of time later. And now the question is, can the undead cancel this now? And with what does he do it? Ghouls? Not that easy. He did go for 5 in the end. Seems like that is the sweet spot for him. 5 ghouls into fiends. And now power creeping from 1-0's side.
With the 2 fiends, obviously, and the ghouls against these high priests, that's easy to do. And it also goes for a late shadow priest against the entangle. I like that addition. We see it more and more from undead players. It took them quite some time to integrate these mercenaries into the build, as of course there's a downside as you can't heal them. Oh, flute of accuracy. Nice. But yeah, now they have the dispel and a little bit of healing, like the double purpose here. It's so nice.
It's a really cool build. DK harass early on, wait for the fiends to come out, and then use the fiends to creep, and most importantly, have something to save the fiends. That is the biggest issue with going fiends early, that you can lose them easily to the keeper. The Shadow Priest suddenly eliminates that possibility. Which, by the way, ideally shouldn't be auto-healing here, I think. You want to have 2 dispels ready. If you drop too low on mana, you're not going to have that anymore.
Yeah.
The nice thing about this Tet Fiend opening also is it's a very fast tech. It's the fastest tech that the Undead can go for. If he rushes tier 3, that's going to be very fast destroyers. That's exactly what he's doing. And now he's coming over for the cans, but look at the Owl. The Owl is perfectly positioned, sees where this is going. By the way, the Owl in the middle of the trees, not on the outside, so I'm not even sure if 1-0 is aware that Foggy is seeing this.
Okay, expansion is not done yet. Foggy is there with level 2 Treants and Mercenaries as well. The Engine of War is making the way over too, so on paper, this should be a good defense, especially with the Huntress against the Skeleton, but it's a lot of Skeletons. A few of them are expiring, so Foggy fights them back.
Yeah. That Owl just saved him the early game. If this expo was cancelled, this is bad, bad news.
Yeah. But he got it. Chat is saying that the little pause by 1-0 was because his cat was walking over the keyboard. Not sure if we can trust the chat, but usually Twitch chat is always right, so nice little...
I know that feeling. I know that feeling.
Stinky.
Entangle finally is going to find the first kill here, unless there's a timely dispel, which there is. And the Shadow Priest has now saved the first life of this game, but now Shadow Priest very low on mana indeed. Lich second coming out. But the expo is done. What is the follow-up here? It's Dryads.
Yes.
Huntresses into Dryads. Both of them very susceptible to piercing damage from the Fiends, of course.
Scroll of the Beast again for Foggy here. And 1 Archer and Snare.
Alchemist.
Ooh, TP.
Coin over.
It's done! He got it! The Undead Nuke got the first kill here. The staff was a little too late.
Again, sloppy. Why is the Alchemist taking so much damage against the creeps? You have level 2 Treants. You never should be low HP on the Elk. It's only a level 1 hero. He's going to be back very soon. Also, by the way, at the expansion, there were no wisps nearby. If he had been a little bit slower, maybe these mass skeletons could have cancelled it. There's always supposed to be wisps next to the building expansion. So, still, flaws showing themselves in Foggy's game. But, all in all, it's looking decent. He's got the expansion. That's the most important thing.
And he got a big invul Remo, big mana Remo. It's continuing. At least 1 big mana a game. Also the flute, of course, very, very nice for the Dryads. He keeps that, obviously. The spell coming in as well. Engine of Wonders between the expansion and the main. Can be a little bit abused by 1-0 that position. 42 supply against 50, 3 and 2 heroes, and nice heal wards. That will be helpful for sure. Destroy upgrade is coming to dispel, entangle, and Treants. Expansion did not pay off. This Huntress sees the undead coming again.
Third hero time, Tinker? No, Dark Ranger.
Dark Ranger.
Okay. Really good to snowball with Huntress and Archer kills. And it is the Dark Arrow first, of course, against Dryads. Silence doesn't do anything. Okay damage against the Dryads as well. Most importantly, doesn't die as easily as Fiends do. Alright.
Shop is not up. No staff, no potions. Focus fire on the Huntress. The one dies easily. It's going hard for the Lich, but there's so much damage as well with +3. Lich is still getting a coil here. Mauler is down. Lots of stuff for Foggy with 55 supply. And he's fighting him back again. Entangle must be dispelled. Takes a lot of time. Maybe Dispel is on cooldown. Coil saves the Lich for once, swapping the invul and saving the army with that. But that push did not accomplish too much, I guess. A few kills, but that's it.
Rare mistake, he missed the Dispel.
Ah.
He tried to, but he didn't hit it, despite the target being stationary. That's kind of unusual. But even with that hitting, it wouldn't have been that easy. Just Foggy has these masses of units. Now he's going for the red camp. That might be a little bit ambitious, as 1-0 is trying to re-engage immediately. Lich is almost level 3. 1-0 would love to take this creep camp. That would be double level up for him, triple level up for him if he gets this camp. And the item, of course, will be big as well. And Tangle trying to prevent the item being picked up. It goes towards Foggy, but it's only the crystal ball.
Could be nice against Burrow. Double kill on the archers here, but it's only archers. At least he gets the experience now, and that is the rare triple level up. 4 DK, 3 Lich, 2 Dark Ranger.
It's continuing to creep. At 50 supply, still is 1-0. Doesn't have new ziggurats coming up. The macro a little bit lacking. Now he is ready to go into upkeep soon, where Foggy, of course, already is. The Dryads would love to see armor upgrades on them to be more tanky against these fiends. We don't have any damage upgrades themselves, but they have the aura, of course.
True that. 1-0 is building a 6th Acolyte for the counter expansion most likely, but his expansion is not crept up yet, so maybe he's going for the upper left. This Engine of War designed to buy time in those fights does exactly that. Wisps are coming in for Detonate, taking out the Berserker immediately to lower the anti-air, but there's still a bunch of Dryads. Alchemist dropping low as well, but there's an Ankh of Reincarnation. He can be safe. Nutrients being summoned, and he can't dispel against that. Alchemist stays alive too. The easy targets are taken out with the Huntress and the Mercs, but there's still a bunch of Dryads. Focus going on to the Lich. Dispels him, but he dies anyway. There was mana. Coil maybe on cooldown. Oh, Ankh is being triggered on the Alchemist. Wants to get the revenge kill, but the Lich is out.
Yeah, Coil had been on cooldown. It was used on the Destroyer there before. 1-0 not paying perfect attention. Can he still win this without a Lich? Usually that is undoable for an undead, but he's gonna try anyways. Nice splitting of the tree, and so he doesn't get the big dispel off on the Destroyer. Man, Foggy is coming back strong in this game, and this Destroyer is being chased and is gonna be getting taken out. Lich is back though from the Tavern, rebought. Low HP, out of mana, but the Keeper out of mana himself almost, but he is level 5.
Acid Bomb applied to that Lich. Alchemist is on the prowl. Can he somehow save him this time? Coil should be ready. There is mana. There we go. Staff out, and with that, the Alchemist is low. And all of a sudden, Foggy is down to below 50 supply. 1-0 is still looking strong with the Lich back. The only problem is mana, but there's 2 statues. One of them has mana as well. Alchemist is rushing to the shop to get an invul, and then he has a staff to get back to the army. Good play by both here now.
Foggy back in no upkeep, not wanting to fight. He's only in defensive position, and he's getting mass items on the Alchemist, dude. He just invested, what is this, 650 gold into consumables and a health potion. He's being a little bit greedy here, it seems to me, only now going into upkeep.
No TP for 1-0 though, so hero kill potential is big. Another Destroy. Oh wow, silence on the Wisp, so they can't detonate. That's a good reason to go for the Dark Ranger, of course. Lich being coiled again, but that's the last one. Entangle coming in right away. Dispel should be on cooldown. No, gets it. Nova or Invul Potion being used on both sides here. This is a crucial moment in this game. Treants are falling everywhere. Lich repositioning to the backline. New Treants being summoned. Now the Keeper is out of mana as well. He sees the Acolyte moving up.
That's weird, isn't it? Oh, guess what? Up there is Blight. Up there is an expansion. And so many Treants. Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Can he break it? Does he want to go uphill? 54 supply against still 54. 1-0. The Fiends, of course, slaughtering these Dryads. Treants, though, are going for the Acolytes now there. Can deny some mining, but he doesn't have the firepower to kill the entire Haunted Gold Mine. Dispel coming in, but it's no chance to deflect this. But there was a lot of mana involved.
So much healing for the Destroyer as well. Yum, 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 yum. From all those Treants. I'm so surprised that only these 2 Fiends are able to deal with the Dryads. Now he's going for the Keeper. He's dropping low. There is no Coil Nova flying his way. There was mana. That could have probably been a TP forced. A bit of a missed opportunity. The one thing I think that's seriously lacking is Dryad upgrades. Where are the Dryad upgrades? Only 1-0 so far. Especially armor is so helpful to sustain against the damage from the Fiends and the Focus Fire.
I agree. Was he low on lumber or something? Doesn't seem like it. And again, the double heal scrolls. I'm not sure if these heal scrolls are worth it because it's all single target damage.
Exactly. Don't like those too much either, to be honest. Double staff instead.
That's good.
And upgrades, obviously. Should have been better, I think. But it's a lot of Dryads now. Suddenly, it's 69 supply. What does 1-0 have against this? Only 59.
Okay, but he broke upkeep, so the Fiend number is increasing, but for how much longer? Acid Bomb on the first Spider, trying to take him out. 3 statues on the ground. Coil is in time. Can he hold the position? No, the Treants are able to go to the Haunted Goatman again. Of course, they're lacking in the fight. Treants being resummoned, now attacking them. Does he still have the Crystal Ball? No, he could have used that now to get that Fiend. Good micro by 1-2-0 here. More and more Wisps are coming in as the big Acid Bomb kills the Shadow Priest. And I think 1-2-0 is losing quite a bit of stuff here, but level 5 for the DK.
And now Hero Kill becomes so much more dangerous. Kiting backwards further and further is the Undead. The Wisps here coming in with the Detonate as much as they can. More Treants being summoned, but there's a Destroyer up in the air. I wonder why only 1. 2 would probably be better. He has 3 statues after all. Lich in trouble next. But so is the Alchemist. Has to be careful. Coil Nova could be coming in, but Mass Detonate's coming out. Prevents the coil. Well done. And he gets that Hero Kill onto the Dark Ranger. And with that perhaps a big lead. The Alchemist in trouble as well.
Wow.
Staff transferred. Barely in time.
So well done by Foggy. It was super risky and it was super close, but it was super effective. Now the Entangle over the Abomination, Force Supply down, and that is 1-2-0 back in no upkeep. He denied it at the end, but how much damage did the Treants do? He wiped out the entire Acolyte circle, and the Engine of War is there as well. Foggy up 1 base, Foggy up 16 supply, and now upgrades are coming in.
And I'm starting to wonder, this third hero, Dark Ranger, is it really doing that much? Instead, you could have had 1 more Fiend and 1 more, I don't know, Meat Wagon maybe. Or an A-Bomb. Serious lack of Disease Cloud, by the way, in this game.
Yeah.
And now, Expo taken out. Foggy with this massive army. Still lacking in the upgrades himself. Finally getting more. Attack upgrades. There's no way that's more valuable than armor. No way.
Yeah, especially since it's more expensive and takes a little longer. Oh boy, here comes the Invis Keeper with 4 Treants. No tower at all, except the Black Citadel, of course. 1 Entangle onto this Acolyte, so he throws him down economically even further than he already is, and the push is coming. Dark Ranger is almost back. Tower helps a little, even against Dryads. Has 1 on the high ground for a little bit of laboratory control, but this is 1-2-0's home turf, fighting in his base. That's the biggest chance he can get.
First couple of Dryads gonna start falling. The DK dropping low, so is the Alchemist, but he's got some inventory here still to make use of. Some items in the inventory, I guess it is. Lich dropping super low to the focus fire, but there is the invul. A little premature, perhaps. The coil was ready, but it's so many Dryads. There's so few Fiends. He never got to that critical mass of Fiends in this game, and now it seems to be numbers overwhelming. The Dark Ranger is coming back, but can she really turn the tide? He's going for the hero kill, trying to force the TP at least out of this Keeper of the Grove. And that one he will get.
Almost killing the Destroyer, almost killing the Fiend, but in the end he got nothing. Town Portal is gone. Expo is still running like crazy. He could even expand for the second time. He's banking 1,000 gold, and since about 400 gold is gone, I'm pretty sure he queued an expansion somewhere.
He's getting a shredder now to have more lumber. Finally, the armor upgrade is coming in. Seriously, this is such a high value upgrade. Somebody has... Neo, you have to tell him. Maybe we have to tell Moon to tell him. Then he's going to take it seriously.
Yeah, all the advice that we have for Foggy has to go through Moon. That's for sure. Reveal being used, seeing that there is no expansion. Triple Undead Hero is back. Dark Ranger close to level 4. Once again, high numbers. So the biggest thing that Foggy has to take care about is to keep his heroes alive.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I'm also surprised we don't see any more expos coming up. It seems like he should be in a decent position here. But he's mining more and more gold, obviously, but it's also a moment to breathe for 1-2-0. He can creep up now. There are some hero level ups around the corner. Level 4 Dark Ranger for at least some more stats. Level 5 Lich would be the bigger deal. Foot of Cunning, not too bad. More stats. It's all about stats. You need to be able to hold your ground and fight off these Dryads.
Plus 4 damage on the Lich is now at plus 15, but Foggy is diving into the base, using the Scroll of Healing against the tower. Interesting, to say the least, but yeah. That tower is gone, makes fighting in this base a little easier.
There's one A-bomb now, but still no Disease Cloud, despite 1-0 having so much lumber. And here we go, fighting once again. Alchemist in the front, taking quite a bit of damage. And 1-0 doesn't seem to be too eager to take this fight, but he's being forced to take it indeed. Destroyer in the front. In not the greatest position, honestly. Not above the trees, dies so quickly, and now there's no more Dispel for the time being. The A-bomb taking so much damage from every single Dryad, firing away at it. And the A-bomb's gonna fall. Level 6 for the Keeper as well. Out of mana, otherwise Tranquility will be coming in big right now. Has the Clarity running. The ultimate will be coming in soon, probably, as more and more Fiends are falling. And there it is. Tranquility coming in to help these Dryads heal up even more. And Fiend after Fiend is falling. Silence! That's pretty good. The one time the Dark Ranger's actually doing something of value here in this game, it seems. But he's down to one Fiend only left now. Coil Nova on the Keeper. Can he get this hero kill? I doubt it, because there's a staff. It is being transferred. Has to use it. There we go. DK stuck in the corner.
Yeah, exactly. Has an invoke potion for 7 seconds, but that's about it, and that's also exposing the Lich. There's one coil to save him, but the Dryads surrounding him. Hold position. Oh, he kills the Alchemist! Fights out that way. He needs to get the revenge kill now, otherwise it's looking kind of bad, but okay. DK falls, and trading a second hero for a first hero is always worth it. He's also getting the 5 supply Destroyer. Here comes the Tele Staff. The Keeper of the Grove is back, and that means more Treants, more damage. Another Fiend falling.
What a bloodbath here in the south. Holy crap, so much stuff is dying. Surround with the Ancient of War and the Dryads against the Dark Ranger. Zeppelin being purchased here by Foggy as well, because why not? He's got so much money. And the Night Elf for once with the mass hero kill is now level 7 for the Keeper of the Grove, level 3 Entangle.
And it's bestowed by the Destroyer. But man, 1-0, super up against the ropes. He's trying to nuke this Keeper again, but not possible. Absolutely not possible. This is 1-0 down to his boxers, man. It's just a Lich and a statue. Of course, you don't want to give this up, but GG! Foggy wins the first map here on Last Refuge. One of the best Undead maps also. With only one expansion. Struggling a little in the early. But once he got into this game, man, super solid performance.
Yeah. Well done, well done. And 1-0. We said earlier he may have won against 14's Sway, but he may need to step it up later on against the other guys. And the micro there was not perfect. We did see a couple of mistakes. And just like that, he loses the first game.
True that. Now 1-0's map choice, of course. Echo Isles is next. So 1-0 on Echo. Not a Lucifer, of course, but maybe something interesting here as well. Dude, how many hero kills in this game?
A lot.
A lot, exactly.
Should have checked after.
Pretty good by Foggy to take out the Fiends all the time. You mentioned that in the cast, but I want to point it out again, how he never got to that critical mass of Fiends and never had the big damage against the Dryads, and all of a sudden there were like 15 Dryads or something. At least it felt like it.
Also, Dark Ranger, I really don't think is that strong. I think more Fiends would have been better. And where's the Disease Cloud? Even if you only have one A-bomb or one catapult, one meat wagon with Disease Cloud, that is so much value.
Yeah, gotta spread that. Thank you, Arts Flow, for the Prime sub. Just love you guys. Thanks. Thank you, my man. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh, well, just got a little bit bright here, didn't it?
Foggy takes a little break and a little rest after this game. 1-0 gets some time to think about strategies. Yeah, this Dark Ranger, it was something that we haven't seen for a long time. I think the silence against Wisps is okay, but really...
Yeah, and if the Night of counterplays against it, you can just dispel the silence on the Wisps, which wasn't even necessary in that game. I think Dark Ranger is totally fine against everything but Dryads and maybe Fairies. But against those two, it doesn't really do much. You can't snowball with the Skeletons because they're all magic immune. You're delaying your level 5 DK and level 5 Lich just for what really? For a Fiend that dies less easily, but also does less damage and costs a lot more.
Yeah, I don't agree with the Dark Ranger choice as well. Like, a Tinker would be nice, or just dual hero.
Yeah.
Maybe even a Dreadlord.
I know you like the Dreadlord Neo, but not against Dryads, dude. You don't want to play that against Dryads.
Carrion Swarm is good against Wisps.
Right.
Well, when Lucifer played it on Echo Isles, that was a treat to watch. But of course, that's
a little bit of theory crafting here. Might perhaps be a Pit Lord with Cleave, third an idea?
I thought the same. Against Dryads, I mean, why not? But does it really do too much?
Yeah, it's kind of like an A-bomb, which is more expensive with a little bit of Cleave.
Yeah, because Cleave is really good when you get the items, but you really want the items on the ledge.
And level 2. And a third hero has to be good on level 1.
Yeah.
And a Pit Lord with Cleave level 1, like if you get him to level 3 with items, yeah, maybe, but I think that's the issue here in this matchup. Like, there's just no good third hero. I think you should play this dual hero.
All right. Foggy has match points, and winning this winner bracket final could become very important. He dodges Moon with that. He dodges TH if he turns out first place, and most likely Lin or Infi, depending on what shape Infi is tomorrow. So yeah, winning this best of 3 would be great for Foggy.
All right, I just forgot to go ready because I'm a goober. So they kicked me. So this one's all you, buddy.
All right.
For the play
well, you can comment from streams and stuff, so
yeah.
We won't be without you. Of course. There we go. Foggy in the blue, in the upper left of Echo Isles. And on Echo Isles, undeads all of a sudden have a variety of strategies. We have the normal stuff with DK ghouls. We have a DK ghoul rush. We have a Dreadlord play. We have a Dreadlord expansion play. There's quite some stuff to play for undead on tier 1 now.
Yeah. And indeed, 1-0 is playing it differently here from what we saw previous. He's not going for the DK Fiend opening again, but it is ghouls. So what does that follow with? The most standard would be just one base, ghoul opening into destroyers and stuff later on with fiends, hoping to cancel expos on the way there. But it could also be an expansion himself. Unlikely to be the case since it's 1-0, but it's possible.
Hero, we're waiting for it. Foggy with a late Engine of War, by the way. Like, super late. And it's a DK. What is this?
Did you just forget about it?
You have like 4 tasks. Q Wisps, get a hero, get an Engine of War, and Moonwell, I guess.
There's not really a reason to make it late, though, is there?
No, it's not. It's not.
So if you make it late, you have a little bit more gold income, like a little bit. But that's not worth it. That can never be worth it.
I don't know.
I think you forgot about it, dude. Like, what reason is there? Maybe there is one, we don't know it. It's certainly very strange. Like, what's the keeper gonna do now? Is he gonna creep with only... He's gonna harass right away? No, he is gonna creep.
Yeah, it's creeping with treants. It's like one archer is missing.
Okay, so... Is he intentionally not making any archers? But this creep camp would have been so faster with the archer. Also, now he can't creep to level 2, not having an archer. If he wanted to walk across the map immediately.
Well, he always has treants, so he can creep the green spot.
Yeah, but you don't want to have to summon 2 sets of treants for that. I mean, yes, you can do it with the keeper as well. He denied one of the creeps with the Ancient of War as well. Foggy!
There's a Huntress Hall now, so he's not going archers, but hunters.
Okay, so I guess it is intentional.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want to make archers. That is pretty weird.
Alright, treants in the base. Once again, no tower. 1-0 starting tier 2. Thank you, by the way, Christian LW16 or Christian LW. 2-month resub. Naga should be a playable. No. Defends it with ghouls now. Seemingly easy, not losing an acolyte here as there is no entangle.
How greedy by 1-0. He's still not upgrading a narrow tower.
Yep. He has the resources for it. But seems like ghouls are... And this is a nice counter, I think, by Foggy, depending on how many hunters he gets, because hunters are really good against ghouls. He's sending the hunters into the base?
And like, huntresses, they're better than they used to be, yes, but they're still not good in the late game. So the issue is, they're good early, they fall off really hard later on, especially against high-level heroes. For that reason, you pretty much always need an expansion. But Foggy is not going for an expansion yet. He's teching instead, but I mean, he can tech and expand at the same time, can he? No problem.
Hey, second at the same time as 1-2-0. He's going for the graveyard now. No second crypt yet, so no surprise Garks against this. Level 2 for the DK makes surrounding Huntress a little easier as well.
That scouting Huntress, by the way, super valuable. That dissuaded the DK from going to the Merc camp where he actually wanted to go. Very, very nice usage of that one unit.
Well, he's going for it now. Keeper making his way over. Expo is coming once again directly at the expansion. So ghouls take this renegade out. Pendant of Energy. Oh, what a gift. But here comes the Keeper with the staff. Signature item for Foggy. Staff of Teleportation. Used that so many times. So successfully. Has to be careful to not be surrounded as the staff is on cooldown.
But he has a Shadow Priest, that's the big deal. Entangle no longer so scary.
Can snipe it though. He's using quite a few right clicks on the Shadow Priest. And gets it in the end. Nope. Micro is sufficient. Now he can heal himself up again. Not slowing down the second treant though, but there's the spell. And therefore he keeps his Shadow Priest alive. So, Fiend possible now. Still no second crypt, so he stays with that. Lich coming. Double Engine of Law for Foggy as well. What a weird build.
I've never seen that before. Instant Huntresses into expansion into Mass Dryads. Couldn't 1-0 against this try to counter expand now on tier 2? Counter expand, 3 Spirit Towers at the Expo, never gonna die.
Super expensive though. But yeah, you're right. You can push this with Fiends, with Dryads. With the well, no, there's no Tinker, of course. Oh, Acid Bomb on the Alchemist. I don't know if Night Elf is always fast with expansions and stuff, so maybe he could overwhelm him at some point, but I don't really have an opinion on that, to be honest. Surround attempt again, but this time there's a staff. And not enough damage for 1-2-0.
A player's forces are under attack.
Village coming in now, that's quite a bit more dangerous for Foggy to be in the middle of the map. But with not having archers, but only huntresses, they aren't so easy to snipe.
Yeah.
So he can still decide to be aggressive here, which is probably the right call. Again, huntresses fall off heavy in the late game, not only because of tech, but mainly because of hero levels. If you can slow down the undead here, that should be a good idea.
Yeah, very good point that the archers are missing here. So the focus fire is missing, and you can't kill that many ghouls as you usually do with acid bomb and archer focus. That certainly helps. But yeah, this is all stalling time for the expansion, but the problem is really no level 3. Thank you very much.
I like this play by Foggy though. It looked so weird to start with, but it's all coming together pretty nicely.
Thank you very much, Olingui 2, for the Prime sub. 5 months in a row. Thank you very much.
Alright, so what does 1-2-0 do here? It looks a little bit like he's not familiar with the situation, isn't it?
Entangle on the DK surround, actually. So this is the TP. And with that, he can easily get this Ogre Magi, which is big. Lich is trying to snipe it, but TP's with it. So the big consumable goes to the Night Elf. Point of mana stealing.
Dude, well done by Foggy. This build is looking really good. Like, it doesn't have any serious weaknesses that I can see. I think the counter expo could have been a decent idea because he was stuck on only 2 Huntresses for so long. Dryads came in very late.
Well, what if you get Ghoul Rushed?
Well, you have Huntresses coming, right? You have Huntresses coming, you have Keeper level 2. You can just pop down Mass Ancients of War. I don't know, dude. Ghoul Rush is... Or maybe there is an opening. We should ask Lucifer.
Apparently the cat was intruding again at 1-0 side after he kicked him out. Oh man, this Lich is stacking up, man. Orb, gloves, claws, even a circlet possible. But Foggy gets the second unique spot as well. That's a big experience leak that 1-0 can never make up again.
But he's at level 3 at least. He's gonna get level 2 Lich as well. But once again, he's probably gonna have to go into an all-in push here. And this expo was actually pretty damn early. Delaying the undead as well. And once again, the mass Dryads are supposed to do it. I hope this time he's prioritizing the upgrades more, as they will help out those Dryads a ton.
Destroyer upgrade done in a bit. Foggy has perfect vision here. Moonwell ready, shop ready, Engine of War in position. 62 supply. Lot of that is still in production though. 9 supply of that. So he has to stall a bit. Is there a staff? Nope, but a lot of consumables. Heal potion, invo potion, heal scroll twice. What was that? What was I about to say with a true? But this time we have a Tinker. And that might change a lot. Fiends are coming in as well. He starts the creep though. And Foggy takes out this pocket factory immediately. So not too many clockworks, not too many guaranteed damage. Once again, the Hunters are there to soak up the damage. They are supposed to die to protect the Dryad. But he's storming in with them as well. Nutrients all the time. He can't dispel against all of them. The Fiend is actually, wow, being saved by 1-0. That was strong. Hunters are dying slowly, but the backline is so strong with the 1-0 attack upgrade as well. The Lich is in trouble, has no potion whatsoever. There are plenty of coils, but is it in time? No! Misses the coil, and that Lich is gone. The big damage dealer is gone. I think Remo is losing his shit over there, as I heard a little clapping in frustration or something. GG! Again, Foggy winning 1-0 on Echo Isles, as he oftentimes did in the past. It seems to be the Nemesis map for the Undead King. And Foggy is in the playoffs by 2-0ing 1-0.
Damn, dude. With, I think, his own build. I've never seen it before, but that looked pretty damn good.
Yeah.
That looked pretty impressive. 1-0, perhaps a little bit stubborn, not trying to adjust to this. No counter expansion attempt. Well, actually, there was a counter expansion attempt at the very end there, but on tier 3, not on tier 2, which may have worked. But let's look at the very, very early game. The DK took the first creep camp and then came home to defend against only Treants and Keeper. If there's a Nerob tower there, I don't think you need to come back with a DK. You can be out on the map, creeping up, maybe stealing some stuff away from your opponent, get to level 2.5 only with the skeletons, and the Nerob and the ghouls should be able to save to keep your main base safe. So that was, I think, a little bit of a mistake there by 1-0, but all in all, just a great build, man. Working out beautifully.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that caught 1-0 by surprise, as especially in the mid game there at the marketplace. Like, what did he really have to prevent this? And getting the marketplace and the shop and the items on Echo Isles, that was so good. And yeah, nothing in 1-0 to prevent this. Also, Foggy protecting his expansion so well that even with the Tinker, there was no chance to break this. Should he start the creep spot there? I don't know. Not really, I guess. But what to do against Moonwell, Shop, and Engine of War? And like 65 supply.
Yeah, I think once tier 3 was kind of started, it was already looking pretty bad for the Undead, because There was nothing he could do for the Expo for such a long time, and just waves after waves of Dryads were coming out. Just overwhelming mass. Very smart play by Foggy here. Not really outplaying his opponent as far as mechanical skill goes, just having the right idea and getting the win that way.
Okay, one more slot for the playoffs today. It's going to be the 6th player, and it's between two Chinese young talents. 1-0 versus Life. There's quite a lot on the line. I guess the loser will drop out. Foggy is safe, joining Moon, TH, Lawliot, and WFZ. So who's going to join them? Either another Night Elf or the second Undead. Stay tuned. The decision will be made in a few minutes. Last game of the day coming up. Life versus 1-0.